Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chasing Rabbits. My name is Scott Brown, and you'll find my vlog dedicated to trying to help you become the leader you always wished that you had worked for. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about, this. I want to talk about this interaction that we have, this monologue style of communication that we've all become so accustomed to in so many ways, and that we have learned to substitute meaningful dialogue with over the past, 10 months, 11 months? Nobody wanted to be in this situation that where we're in. Nobody wanted to be physically separated so that our communication had to be creative. We had to find a new way to interact. So we found platforms on the internet to be able to share information, to be able to work, to be able to celebrate. We found different ways to be able to connect. And I don't know about you, but there are times that I am just absolutely done. Just done with Zoom and Teams and Hangouts and Jitsi and anything else that's out there to connect people electronically. And I think that being done, that I think is shared by a lot of people out there, that it's not something that we ever wanted to do. And, granted, the Jetsons told us this would be a thing, but they didn't prepare us for what this really would become. And I know there are times that I'm tired of talking into a camera. I miss people. I miss the connection, and I'm just done with the whole thing. But what is it that I'm really done with? What is it that you're really done with? And I think the whole concept that we have of this whole Zoom fatigue that is starting to become more prevalent these days, I think there are two types of Zoom fatigue that are out there. The first is, all too often, our presenters right now are just phoning it in. They're tired just as we are tired. They're tired of talking to a white light instead of to a person. They're tired of not getting the energy, the audience reaction. They're tired of it being a monologue instead of it being a true dialogue. They want to have interaction. And honestly, if you look at some of the presentations that are out there right now, some of them are just done. They're just phoning it in. So I get why, at some level, we're tired of being talked at instead of being talked with. There's a difference in that connection, the difference in that end result of if we're part of the conversation or if we're just passively paying attention to a conversation. And when we have bad presenters, it can just be draining. But I think the second thing, and the second reason why people are just starting to get burned out a little bit with Zoom fatigue, has nothing to do with the quality of presenters, that some of us really put all that we have to try to create an engaging and meaningful message on a regular basis, but we miss the connection. So on one side, you have the Zoom fatigue that has started from a lack of energy from some presenters because they're burned out. And on the other side, you have this lack of connection because we miss people. We're tired of sitting in our offices and our bedrooms and our kitchens and our closets and our garages interacting with people because we have to be separate from them. And we're tired of being separate. We're social creatures. Humans are social creatures meant to be bonded together. We are physiologically and anthropologically wired to come together as groups and tribes for the betterment of all. We've lost that. So I ask you, when you have that Zoom fatigue, which one are you more fatigued by? Is it the presenter that is having trouble capturing your attention, or is it the fact that there is a presenter that isn't near you in the first place? That we don't have those people? And for me, it's both. It's absolutely both. But with both of those options out there, there's also opportunities that have been brought forward by this new technology that we could have never had before. I've been able to connect with people from around the world that I would have never had an opportunity to meet because of geographical proximity. I'm in Fort Wayne, Indiana. I am nowhere near Sweden. I am nowhere near China. I am nowhere near California or Oregon or Pennsylvania. well, somewhat near Pennsylvania, but I'm nowhere near the places where people are who give me feedback, who've interacted with me. I'm even part of Toastmasters clubs that I'm with, and I visit and I meet people from all over the world. While we have been separated physically, we've also been brought together electronically in a way that has never happened before. And that opens up new possibilities for what this could mean to us down the road. And yes, I absolutely want us to get back together and be around people. But I think as leaders, we have the opportunity to look at this and ask, what if? What if we did something new with this technology to help engage the masses, and instead of just always talking to people, we found a way to talk with people? That we became part of a dialogue instead of always promoting a monologue. How we use this technology really determines how much people are going to follow us, how willing people are to get behind us and go where we're trying to go. Is Zoom fatigue real? Absolutely. But are there opportunities for us to connect with people we could have never met in a way that could have never happened? Absolutely. With every negative, there's always a positive. It's up to us to find those positives and figure out how we're going to use this little box that we're trapped in a way that's going to connect us instead of separate us. I wish all of you a wonderful evening this evening. I hope you have a fun night, a fantastic evening, and I will be talking to you again tomorrow for another edition of Chasing Rabbits. And let's see if we can find a way that maybe we can make this more of a dialogue instead of just 365 monologues. Toast on, my friends. Have a wonderful night, be well, and I will see you soon. Have a good night, Daniel.